What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 19th day of May, and here we are sitting at $383 with roughly 10 hours and 50 minutes left in the day. Let's look at the macro stuff because we have seen a move down. This move was to be expected. Not all along did we expect that we would make this move down. There was a lot of hope in the first half of this kind of turd nugget of consolidation here. A lot of hope that we would recover. But then things seem to become more obviously bleak as time went on that we would drop down. I want to look at the macro stuff because we've done some macro stuff recently. I didn't make a video yesterday because I was just unable to. Incapacitated. That was the word I was looking for. All right, so I want to use this here from a high to a high. And actually, I want to do this on the daily time frame. I want to get it. I want to be as accurate as possible. Let's see. There we go. There's the day. And then this here. Pretty close. There we go. And then we'll extend it to the right. And then boom. That's my favorite button. These buttons here, TradingView, get rid of them. But this button over here, wherever that was, that's the best button ever. Yeah, we have broken below that line. We've broken below that line with tremendous volume too. This is the most volume that we've seen, guys, since February. Okay. And it's not the largest volume that we've seen over the years, but that is some of the most volume that we've seen, really. I mean, since 2025. This is one of the larger volume days that corresponded with this breakout here. So that's no small endeavor. Now, there was a lot of volume. There's a lot of wick left behind on this candle, and it is the day after. We still do have 11 hours or so, 10 hours 47 minutes left in this day. If if we can get back above this line today, ideally, but really, I mean, in a short amount of time, even if it's not today, but we get above this line over the next couple of days and we stay there and we start to progress from it, this could be a fake out. It's possible. It is possible this could be a fake out, especially with how big that wick is. But it's not that everything's forsaken, but looking at it for what it's worth, it does seem a bit more pronounced of a prodding than these last handful of times that we've had finding support at this line. This does look like the beginning of a break. And if we're looking at this for what it's worth, I mean, we were in this consolidation phase here, right? We were in the diamond top. We're in this greater consolidation phase overall. Call it a channel, call it a flag, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a flag. A paddle board, I don't know. It looks like a square, it looks like a rectangle. We probably do go to the base of this area, which could imply lower lows. It really could. Those lows, by the way, are roughly at like $250. So that's a really good place to enter. If Bitcoin Cash is a main part of your portfolio like it is mine, the best thing to do, not a financial advisor, is DCA, but also probably stack some cash itself, like actual US dollar cash. Stack some cash so that you could buy at the lower ends. Again, I would much rather, at this point, buy up here than put some cash in here where I could get it in here. Because the reality is $700 is still cheap Bitcoin Cash. If we move up, we're starting to rally. Things are great. Yes, you could have bought here, but if you're like me, it's a large part of your portfolio. You're going to be making money anyway, so it's not a big deal. But if you can really be patient and snuff out those lows, man, get in at a really good entry. That just it can really bring your dollar cost average down at a very suitable area. That's something to appreciate going into the next cycle here. But all that to say, I don't believe we're going to break out. I don't think this is the demise of Bitcoin Cash. Diamond top patterns are notorious for high velocity breakout moves. And the breakout move would correspond with the low point here. Come on. Well, I was trying to get the low point. Damn it, that wasn't the low or the high. Let's see here. Low, get the high there, get the low here. Come on now. There we go. Low to high. Breakout here, more or less, something like that. I didn't draw it the best. Let's actually put this breakout a little bit lower, like right there, right where it actually started to break out. That breakout move would take us down to 291. If this is a diamond top, it looks like a diamond top, and this breakout move is true, we will see the price go below $300 before there's any hope, really, of turning that boat around to the upside. And it's a high velocity breakout move. They're known for high velocity, so this is the beginning. We're probably over the coming weeks going to continue to drop down to this area. That's probably what's going to happen. Last bear market, we saw a very high velocity drop, didn't we? There was a moment where we chilled, but really it was high velocity overall through. And then what happened? From June of 2022 until June of 2023, a whole year, we consolidated, we accumulated, we moved sideways. At the low ends of this range here, we moved sideways for a solid bit. At the low ends of this range here, we moved sideways for a solid bit. Why can't we do the same? You know, why can't we consolidate for a little bit here at the bottom as well? I don't expect death and turmoil. This is not ideal on a macro scale to break back below the screen line, but it is what it is, and this is what we're dealing with now. These are the perspectives and the targets that await us. This isn't something new that we're unprepared for. You know, for the past month or two, we've been prepared and accepting of this price action. I have not been advocating for the buy on Bitcoin Cash. I haven't been advocating for the sell either because I think long term this thing has a lot of potential. But I do want to look, while we're here, let's look back at the BCH BTC chart and just see what's going on. BCH USD Coinbase has more history. BCH BTC Binance has more history. You look at this on a weekly time frame, it does seem as though that this breakout of this trend line corresponds directly with the breakout of this trend line as well. So we've broken out of our uptrend. You had a year-long uptrend, beautiful, phenomenal. By the time everybody was catching on with it and saying, oh my God, look, it's outperforming for the past year. And it was. That's whenever we started to move down. Really, if we think about it, you know, Bitcoin's bear market started this week. Technically, Bitcoin Cash is still outperforming Bitcoin since its bear market began. Technically still. That's what this chart's telling us. But we have broken out. What I would expect is that, you know, we have an uptrend here. This is a corrective phase, so we're going to see a 1, 2, 3 style correction. This in itself doesn't mean that, and it might not be this big. Maybe the corrective part here within this correction is smaller. Maybe it's even smaller than that. But we're going to see an ABC correction. We have lower to go. We have lower to go as time goes on. What I would expect here is that when this move up comes, Bitcoin Cash is not moving up in US dollar price. Maybe it's just not moving down as fast as Bitcoin. Something like that could happen. I mean, after all, it's been moving down slower than Bitcoin has since October. Why can't it do that here? It just saw a big drop too. We'll see. BCH BTC weekly RSI down at the oversold zone. We typically do find support right around this area. We can go lower, but if we do, probably not too much lower. Stochastics have been oversold for a second. The MACD is actually right at a point to bounce. There are reasons to be bullish here. Stochastics suck here, but you're coming out of the oversold zone. The MACD is also terrible, and the RSI is bad as well. But you're looking your worst. You probably do recover a little bit from here versus BTC. Again, that doesn't mean that you're recovering on US dollar. Maybe it does. But what that could mean is just that they both drop. BTC and BCH both drop, but BCH drops less. After all, you have dropped more recently. Maybe Bitcoin starts to drop more and Bitcoin Cash drops with it, but it just drops less because it's already dropped. It's already had its move. Anyways, I don't really know if there's anything else to say. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame, and then we'll zoom back out a little bit and look at the indicators. We'll wrap this up. Good bit of volume here. A lot of that volume from that day was actually on this green candle, which is interesting to note. The RSI is bearish, of course. Very bearish here. The stochastics are bearish overall, bullish momentarily, but you're at the 50. I don't have hopes. You might see a false green cross here like we did here, The MACD is bearish. Everything's bearish. We're going to figure ourselves out. We're not in a moment here where it looks like we're going to be moving back up anytime soon. We'll probably figure ourselves out in this world, maybe break out a little bit and then come back down, something like that. Again, we are in this overall diamond bottom or diamond top breakout, so the velocity to the downside should be fast. I don't imagine we'll spend too much time here. And of course, that can change if we get back above and consistently stay above $400. Let's just see where that line was. I got to click back a few times. I mean, if we can get back above $393 on a daily closing basis and stay there consistently, like for multiple days closing above there, maybe we're good. I mean, maybe we get some type of serious recovery here. That would be nice. That would also agree with the BCH BTC chart correcting here. I still think there's lower prices overall. You would invalidate this breakout to the downside. The only way to invalidate the diamond top breakout here to the downside, the only way to invalidate it would be to come back to the breakout point. So getting back to about $450. We get above $400, we get above this green line here, that's not enough. We can get above that green line, maybe we disrespect it a little bit and we still go lower. You know, that's nothing special. It'd be the first implication of hope if we can get above here and close multiple days above there, but that's not enough. You need to get back above like 450 before we really start to get excited for any serious recovery. And I'm not excited for it. I don't have hope for it. I think that we are going to move lower. Daily time frame indicators, RSIs in the dumps. Typically, you don't see something this deep in the RSI without further iterations to follow. That's when you do your worst work. I mean, look here, right? That's whenever you're moving down. We're not moving down as aggressive as this, but still we saw lower prices, right? Here, whenever you're getting oversold, was that the low? No, you saw lower lows here. You came back down to these lows here. So we're going to spend some time in these areas. It's a good time to DCA. You know, relatively speaking, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It is a good time to DCA, but I think if you're patient, you might be able to snag prices likely below $300 in time. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We're riding the Red Dragon right now, baby. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.